Okay, so for about the last 10 years, I had been standing idle regarding this idea for augmented reality glasses. I had the idea way over 10 years ago. And for the about last 3 years, I've been kind of thinking about implementing them and how to do it and what hardware like modules would need to be required and stuff like that. I also was thinking, hey, I wasted so many years just kind of sitting idle. If I had this idea over 10 years ago, why didn't I implement it yet? And the truth is, I just don't have the resources to. And for about the last year or so, I actually did some renders. I hired a guy that did the design for me based on my specifications, and then I rendered them, and I kind of did some videos and did it my way and stuff. But they're just videos, and I have a general idea of how the device is going to work, the AR glasses, the hardware behind it. And I got this idea that I got from the YouTuber Kale. He's like from Make My Startup or something like that, or Coding My Startup. He's a really cool guy. He's on YouTube, and he does like YouTubes regarding like his startup, like how he's gonna code his startup. And it's like for an app, I think. And I thought that was a really good idea. So I decided to kind of document my own process of how I'm trying to build these AR glasses and stuff. Even though for the last 10 years I've been standing idle, the last 3 years I've been kind of doing research like patents and, watching all the YouTube videos regarding this subject. Kind of like the hype and the market research behind this product. So for about a year ago, I registered the company. So the company is done, and it's done. The company is registered, and I went ahead and registered the domain. So it's ZOE, Zia, ZOE, ZOE, ZU, ZU, ZIAWE, and .com, and that's where you can kind of find out what's going on with my company. The problem is that I'm contacting like people from like Microsoft and Magic Leap and Facebook, and some of them respond and some of them are like, okay, what exactly are you doing? And I'm like doing research and development on the subject on AR glasses, and I'm trying to build the hardware to my specifications. So I kind of have like my own version of what is now known as the metaverse, thanks to Zuckerberg. But I contacted Alex, and he's the Microsoft HoloLens team lead from Microsoft. And he kind of we talked on the phone for a few minutes, more like a minute, but I had sent him an email before and he didn't respond. So I was like, I'm gonna give him a call. And I picked up the phone, called his cell phone, and he kind of was like, shrugging it off. Because, he works at Microsoft and he's the Microsoft lead. So he's probably really busy, and I understand that. So I talked to another lady from Facebook, and I believe her name is Haley or something. And she, that's probably not her name, but she basically is the Microsoft Metaverse Officer is what she calls herself, or what her actual title is, which is really cool. And we already started off in a bad foot, I guess you could say, because I kind of just, I was like, hey, you're the Chief Metaverse Officer. That is effing cool. And I sent her that email, and that's probably not a good thing. So, yeah. So probably check her off the list. But it would be cool to talk to her. And I also offered her a free hat from our startup. It's not this one because they haven't arrived yet. So I did order our company hats, and it's basically a QR code, which is kind of cringy because we should have our own QR code style. And so yeah, it has our let's talk about that, okay? So I have the hat, and it has a QR code, and it links directly to our company's website. And on the website is just a bunch of renders for a product that doesn't even exist yet. So it's like you're trying to build a company on a product that doesn't even exist yet. It's like, wow, that's really cringy. But anyway, um, I I decided that I would document my process. I don't know if I'll post it on YouTube or not, which is really, really controversial for me to say that because this is YouTube and the algorithm would probably kill me if I said I'm not posting on YouTube anymore. But so yeah, that's about it. I don't really have much more to say. I ordered some sweaters also with like our company name and then the logo and then a big QR code in the back. And I'm gonna give it to a friend of mine and see if people scan them and stuff. I also ordered some stickers, but so I'm wasting this money on a company, and like the device doesn't exist yet, but we're like trying to build it. So I'm in the talks with like manufacturers um and yeah, it's kind of depressing honestly because we're trying to raise money, and like investors are like, well, we want a prototype. And like I don't want to just throw it on a Raspberry Pi with like a a hologram display that we got from like a manufacturer or something. I kind of want to build a good prototype, build a high-end prototype, and that takes like thousands of dollars. So I'm kind of at a crossroads, and that's why I decided that I was going to do this YouTube channel and see how it goes. So thanks to Kale for from Coding My Startup. I think that that's a great channel, and he's always positive, and I always watch his videos and stuff. Also, I'd like to just throw it in that I'd also I also watch TNT, which is like this Spanish show on YouTube. He's pretty cool. He's a YouTuber as well, but he does his stuff in Spanish. He's from Mexico, I think, and yeah. Also, there's another Spanish show that I watch, but I'll probably edit this out. It's like the La Manzana Mordida. It's the bitten apple. So it's like I wanted to talk about how I'm like contacting these companies that are possible competitors, and they have like a way high advantage because we are just a startup and we don't have the product yet, and they are companies with like billions and billions of dollars in resources and people, and they have softwares and engineers, and I'm here with like this and like and like ideas written on paper and some renders that I hired someone to do that they'll probably never want to work with me again because I don't have that much money. But either way, like I think it's a good idea to do this even if it hurts. Thanks for watching, guys.